Here's the dream scenario. First things first, we all know that Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor at some point are going to fight. That's been announced by Dana, that's been announced by Conor, that's been announced by Michael Chandler, that at some point this is going to happen. Now remember, Chandler is number 5 in the lightweight division, right? Now the dream scenario, the absolute best thing that Dana White wanted from Khabib, from Conor, is for them to have Conor and Khabib 2.
It's a massive money fight. Both these guys are going to make a lot of money.
Right? But that never took place. Khabib retired, etc., etc. We all know how that story ends. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ultimate Punching. This is the Ultimate MMA channel. Support the channel. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing. Let's get on with it. Conor is going to be coming back and fighting Michael Chandler, who was a lightweight. Conor was a lightweight. Now we see what happens. The ideal scenario and how this plays out is that if Conor can come back, KO Michael Chandler, which, you know, it can be done, right? We saw Charles Oliveira do it.
Get off of that jab early. Oh! Knocked down for Oliveira now! Now knee to the body for Charles on the right hand!
Chandler can be hurt, he can be rocked, he can be stung, right? And Conor has that wicked left hand that puts so many people out. So if he can tag him with that left and tag him early, he might be able to finish Chandler completely. Then, guess what's going to happen? He's going to get an immediate
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Title shot. And as soon as he does, we basically have Conor and Khabib 2. He's going to fight. Conor is going to go and fight Islam for the title. Does Conor beat Islam? I sincerely doubt that. But now you have, this is like the perfect scenario for the UFC, because we basically have Khabib's best friend, his protege, Islam Makhachev, the guy who basically is always in Khabib's shadow. Now he's fighting Conor McGregor for the title. And all you people out there who say, oh, that's never going to happen, he's going to have to win it at least a couple more times. Trust me, that's exactly what, if he beats Michael Chandler, he's getting a title shot. End of discussion. And if you think anything else, you're wrong. Now, the other scenario that would be absolutely ideal for the UFC would be as follows. Now, there's some rumors out there that Dillon Danis is supposedly going to get signed by the UFC. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen after the way he sold that Logan Paul fight. They definitely want him in there. Now, all he has is kind of a jiu-jitsu game. It doesn't look like he has much in sort of the striking department. That's neither here nor there. Now, the question will be, can Dillon Danis make 155? I believe he's only competed at 170 at welterweight. And so if there's a scenario where he can make 155 or he can compete at 170, again, he'll need 1, maybe 2 wins in the UFC before he can claim a title shot. And the ideal scenario, once again, for the UFC would be if Dillon Danis beats a couple people. They don't even have to be super difficult fights, but he beats a couple people in the UFC and then lays claim to a title shot. And once again, the ideal scenario would be if Islam is at 155, Dillon Danis fights Islam for the 155 lightweight title, or if Islam goes up, becomes double champ, having Dillon Danis fight Islam at some point for the welterweight title. Both of those are ideal scenarios for the UFC because it means big bucks, huge pay-per-view buys, and potentially something that breaks even the Conor Khabib record for the most pay-per-view buys in UFC history. So to me, I see those as the most 2 ideal scenarios for the UFC. They would absolutely love it if that could take place. They would love a scenario where Conor KOs Michael Chandler and then moves on into a title fight. They'd love it if Dillon Danis comes into the UFC, beats a couple people, has a title fight with Islam Makhachev. Both of those would be amazing scenarios for the UFC. And frankly, I can't see a scenario where they would deny that if those things take place. Of course, it's a tall order. After Dillon Danis' performance boxing, it's clear the guy has no striking ability whatsoever. So him beating a couple people in the UFC might be extremely challenging. Conor has not fought since he broke his leg with Dustin Poirier. And anybody who's come back after a leg break, tends to not win, and especially Michael Chandler, who's been active, who's been training, who's been going after it for years, it'll be a tall order to beat him. But once again, that left hand, if Conor can land it, he can probably put out Michael Chandler, and if he does, then that means a title fight at lightweight. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think those scenarios are likely to take place? And if they do you think they're going to give Conor or Dylan an immediate title shot? You have to remember that the UFC, more than anything, is concerned about making money. They're going to make Conor win at lightweight at least once. They're going to make Dylan win a couple times in the UFC before they give him a title shot. But ultimately, they're not going to have to go through all these grueling things that other contenders have to go through because they sell. And the bottom line is the UFC wants to make money. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's it for me. Have a good day.